Hello my viewers, it is I, Evil Moonlock, back here again with another video of monster cards. Yeah, we're going to be drawing a new card, so let's just get right into it. Was I doing an advanced card before? I don't think it matters much. 1, 2, and let's do it. Ooh, a fusion card. Okay. These ones are pretty difficult to do because you need to draw 4 cards in total. 4 cards. Oof. I think I will actually save a fusion card for later. When we have built up a few more cards, so I will actually know what 2 cards I would want to fuse. So we will actually reroll that one. And okay, a critical skill. Okay, if I remember correctly, it's when you attack, you roll a die, and then if you roll a 6, or rather a 1, you will deal extra damage. I'll just check it quickly. Oh no, it doubles the damage dealt on a 1. Interesting. Devil, medium, melee, normal, element. I think I will reroll a few of those. Because we do have 2 mediums, so I would like to balance it out a little bit. We do have a devil as well, so I think I will change that as well. And we have 2 melees as well, so I'm gonna reroll that one as well. Up, up, up. We already have a specifically small human, so another species, please. Ooh, that's interesting. So, a normal god, normal element, god, magic, and he's large. With the critical skill. Now, I actually had a few cards already in mind for the god species. Specifically 2. I had 2 in mind. An angle of death, a triangle if you will, you know, and I don't know if anybody saw this, but there's this, sadly, a series called an analog horror series called Angel Engine. Sadly, a lot of the visuals are AI generated, but the story is really interesting, and there's a little bit of human art as well in the later episodes, which is good, but now the creator is swapping between AI created art and artists, so there's still a mix, which sadly brings the whole series down, which is a bit annoying, but it is a really interesting concept where this angel is essentially voluntarily, actually, trapped in a human-made machine that sucks all the energy out of him, basically. And, well, the lore is pretty interesting, and I think it's pretty horrific, but it would really fit the theme which I'm going for. So which would I like to do? The angle of death? Or something inspired by the Angel Engine? I think I want something more horrific. So let's go for the angel engine thingy. Inspired thingy. So I wanted the guy to really be... Well, it is like looming over you. You want really... Okay. Angels have wings, right? And it's massive. It's large. So let's do... The angel itself will be relatively human-sized. But let's have the machine cables come out of him. Something like this. Like angel wings, right? But it's cables. And he is like stapled to the machine, like Jesus on a cross, perhaps. Yeah, I think this looks alright as a good idea, but I will make it larger because I really wanna show the detail on the face. How decrepit he became. I think I will show the body, and actually I will not show what's below. Maybe he will be encased in something even. Tubes, tubes. Tube, 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 tube. I really like the horrific stuff, but I'm really bad at drawing such things. So I have to practice. I'm thinking that maybe I could encase half his head in metal. Ooh, and we definitely want things to be coming out of his neck. Like this. Ooh. And he will be stapled to the wall here. Oh, stapled, stapled, encased. His arms constrained. Perhaps I should look at the reference, but I don't want to just copy what somebody else did, even though I am kind of pulling it slightly out of memory. We want to show some scars, because he was for sure experimented on. And cut open multiple times. think I would like to drop the cheek a little bit more. Although I think that was like anatomically in the correct space. I think it would look better if I dropped it more. Ooh, yes, definitely looks better with the small sunken eye. I'm not sure if I want the thing here to be a mask, a mechanical part, or something else. Ugh, that's a bit disturbing. He actually looks a bit too childish right now. Not sure that's the vibe I want to be going for. I will actually erase this seam. Yes, I think the head is a bit too round. Now I want it to be thin and long. And actually he's looking a little bit to the left. I think it will be more striking if he looks directly at you. So, which means we want a direct frontal view. Nice, thin, emancipated neck. Maybe this is a bit too long, but sure it will be fine. Now, I'm not sure exactly what kind of expression I want him to be having. Want him to be having. Want him to have. It's really strange because that's a mistake I hear a lot of Czech people say when they talk English. Especially my teacher right now for reinforcement learning always adds these inks to every word. It's pretty strange because I mean, I think everybody knows how to say it correctly. It just comes out like that on its own. On its ownings. I'm not sure, maybe I want a full smile. Like he's a little bit crazy. I think I want a relatively small, sharp nose. I think just this once I will look at a reference just to get some inspiration because I think it really is a really cool vibe, and I wanna try drawing something similar, similar as what they have. Ah, excellent. Now it pains me to say, since a lot of the art is AI generated, I will be kind of, you know, taking inspiration from AI, which is really sloppy. At least I think this art is still AI generated. I'm flashing it on the screen right now. But this is kind of the vibe for what I'm going for. So he doesn't exactly have a smile, he just lacks lips. That's what we want, actually. That's what we want to see. In fact, he kind of lacks skin on the whole bottom part. So I'll just retry this. Needs a little bit of a chin. This is of course just the sketch, so now here will be the teeth, and then here is the cheekbone. And let's exaggerate it a little bit to make it appear a little bit more monstrous. I think I will have one eye. Like this, and the other one will actually be completely missing. Like it will just be a black void. Like it was ripped out. Let's add these gnarly teeth. I'm gonna figure out the details later. I will make these cheekbones a bit higher, I think. Yes, yes, yes. Let's climb them up. It's slightly asymmetrical, but what can you do? It's really skeletal, but that's kind of what we're going for. Ah, nice, nice, nice. These lines will represent like the bone or sinew, whatever stuff, just to show he's really starved, decayed, you know, sucked out, exploited. Okay, I imagine he would actually have something on his head to hold him in place. You know, the art doesn't show that, of course, because they don't think about stuff like this. AI slops. Or maybe they do, there's a bunch of other art, which is even more sloppier. Ugh. Imagine how good that art would be if the guy just used an artist from the start. Or just stopped using AI after he did get an artist to make the story so much better. It just takes you so out of the story when you see AI footage, mainly because you cannot see artistic intent behind it, right? You don't know if details are actually intended or if they're just added because the AI hallucinated it. So it's impossible to judge what's actually supposed to be there, which means you cannot take this as art as canon, and it takes you out of your immersion. Okay, this eyebrow thingy on the other eye looks too sad. Too sympathetic. You want him to appear sympathetic, but not like this. Oh, I just got a good idea. What if his eye was sewn open? And maybe there was like is looking directly at you like this, with thin pinpricks of pupils. And maybe there's like, well, this eye will for sure be a little bit bloodshot. Let me just use a more appropriate color. For sure, I want that one to be bloodshot. Maybe I would like a maggot to be crawling through it. Or something horrific like that. Further, like in the story, the angel Uriel, which is strapped in the machine, has these beautiful yellow locks of hair. So, as to imitate it, or you know, show in what bad shape is, I will draw his hair disheveled and you know, in a really bad shape, falling out, grayed out from his beautiful golden locks. Yeah, I think this is plenty horrific. Maybe we want to show him properly emancipated, of course. Perhaps we can change this bottom part more. I'm not sure what we would change here specifically. Yeah, I think him sitting in some sort of vat or the larger device is fine, like this, right? And then we want to add more tubes coming from the back. Now, sucking energy out of him. This will be on the background, which means not there. It will be darker and whatnot, and it will be completely filled with tubes. Now, do we want to give him some eyebrows? Of course, our eyebrows make him appear more human, more healthy, which is not what we want. Right? But it is something. Which, I mean, eyebrow isn't just the fur, it's also the bone, so we could suggest a little bit of a bone structure here where the eyebrow should be. Now to show a little bit of emotion. I can think of that. I'll think of that later. Because, you know, the cool thing about the story is I'm glazing the story so much, but it's really interesting. The concept is interesting. You know, the angel from the angel engine can actually leave at any time. And the only reason he stays is because of, you know, God's love is infinite, and the angel's love for humanity is infinite as well. So even though he's getting absolutely obliterated and tortured, he still stays there voluntarily. So, like, it's not like he would be necessarily angry at the humans, or maybe, like, I would like to give him maybe a pitying look, like, what has become of you or something. Except, you know, I'm a really bad artist, so I have no idea how to portray that. So I'll think of that. In the meantime... Oh no! Oh no! I drew it on the first layer. Oh well. In the meantime, I can... what do you call it? Yeah, I can start drawing the line art. Now let me just think if it is possible to move this to a layer below, because I would really like that. If I recall correctly, if I press this button, yeah, it allows me to load a different card art, but it doesn't allow me to change layers. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more challenging, but it's alright. I'll be able to figure it out. I will simply have to draw the line art on the layer below. First, I will use a 50% opacity eraser tool to make it a little bit darker so I can tell the difference between line art and real art. Okay, that's a little bit too much. It applies itself multiple times if you exit the canvas, so I'm gonna have to do it a little bit carefully, a little bit more carefully. Yeah, like this. And it's weird. Okay, I'm actually going to check if it's possible to move the layer from the art from one layer to a second one, maybe through by messing with the game files, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm not smart enough to figure it out, so it's probably not possible anyway. We'll just have to deal with it. Yeah, let's get to it. I mean, it shouldn't be that bad. I drew the previous card with the line art layer on the layer 2, so it's not really that big of a deal. Just going to be slightly annoying with how my line art will be actually below the below the sketch, but it's alright. It's alright. I think I want it to drop a little bit inside before we return. I really want to go around the bone like this. I want to go inside slightly and then back here. And you want to drop in again. Follow the teeth. Slightly out and all the way out to the cheekbone. Then from the cheekbone inside and out. Oh my god! Forgot to turn off the opacity. Good thing I checked that. Whew. Oh yeah, that looks like way better first of all. Now it's much more visible what I'm actually doing. Sometimes in the future I will also try drawing without line art, straight up color. I think that style of art also has potential to look good. And it saves you technically a little bit of effort. Though not really, because you still have to define the same shapes, you're just using color instead of line art, but you're still essentially drawing the same thing. Now his headband will be cutting a little bit into his flesh, because it's so tight. I'll probably add some doodads to it as well. We can add a hair later. For now, I'll just leave it a clean cranium. Now let's go onto the nose. Not sure I actually want to draw those parts. I think just suggesting it. Like this should work well enough. And yeah, I think something like this would work. And then I would like to color the bottom part in, but that's done during coloring, of course. Oh, I know. One extra thing we can do here to make the hole actually bigger than the eyeball. So you can actually see the shape of the eyeball inside. Oh yeah. Meanwhile here it will be covered by the skin, of course. Maybe we would like his other eye to be closed. Or even worse, limp, gone. His one eye perpetually shut open and his other permanently gone. Permanently gone, perhaps? Or temporarily gone. Hey, and this gives me another idea, right? If I draw him now without his eye, other eye, that is something we can use in future art, right? To tie in into the story. We can have a god eye, which was taken from the angel, and then is its own card. Which I think that's a pretty good idea, so I will actually draw his other eye either permanently shut like this, meaning we can just imply that it's gone, like making it possible that it's gone, explaining the existence of the card, or we can make it completely like dark, like, oh, it's for sure gone. I'm not sure which looks better. I think having the eyelid still there, but the skin folding in such a way where it makes it obvious that there's a hole, would actually look worse, but like worse in a good way, like more scary or something like this, where it falls over itself in the midpoint and then is shut, permanently shut. It could use a little bit of work, but let's leave it like that for now. And this this one's going to be a lot of work, but it's an ultra rare card, so I guess it deserves it. Nice long teeth using a 3 width brush for this. We artists know that the amount of details is inversely proportional to the size of the brush. This is a bit awkward. I'll try 2 brush actually. I think they're just a little bit too big. I want thinner teeth. Yeah, maybe I will not even draw them like specifically. I will more of a suggest the shape of the teeth without actually like necessarily drawing each and one of them. This aimed inwards, and then we just kept them off. I think this looks all right. Now I will add a little bit of a thing to the top and bottom, representing the gums. Too big? Yeah. To separate the gums from the gummer, from the teeth. Not completely sold on it. I'll leave it like this for now. Let's take a look. The sketch always looks better, but don't worry, when we finish it and add all the color, the final product will look better. It just takes more effort for a smaller percentage. I'm struggling with this neck a little bit. I do want to add the tubes to his neck. Ooh, do we want to add like a breathing tube to his neck right here to the middle? Of course, there will be ports for taking blood on the left side. We already decided that. So I'll just quickly add those. Or the one, I think if I add another one that would... I mean, two are like symmetrical. Frankly, I think two would be symmetrical. Maybe I'll add it a little bit on the background, like this. Like that it's on the same side, but facing away from us. But because if they were on the same layer, it would look too cramped. It's alright. Not really my best work here. Now we want to see these bones. The collar bones, I think they are. And we want him to really be stretched like a mannequin. Are mannequins like stretched or something? Well, this one sure is. Just gotta get the proportions right. Here is the... Okay, if I rotate this, it's about midway towards the hip. Yeah, this is at the joint is at the correct spot. And yeah, I think this is about the correct distance. Sadly, the way I proportioned it, we will not get to see the arms, the hands I mean specifically, but those weren't necessarily important for this anyway, so not the biggest of deals. Frankly, not too worried about that. Now I have to connect it a little bit in a sensible way. Does that just go over the armpit? In a manner such as this. Oh yeah. Now we just put the joint on the same length, height. It's on the other side. so it's at least a little bit symmetrical. Hey, it's looking pretty relatively good, I would say, for now. Then the chest moves like this. Is this... is this just a bit too wide, maybe? Hmm. I think it is. I think it expands too much at the bottom. Also, I'll try to make it more rectangular, perhaps. By making it curveless. Ah, I think that looks better. I think that does look better, but it is still a bit wonky on the right side. Still a bit wonky here. I'll try connecting it directly to... yeah, then we want a sharp drop off, add to the ribs. And to go inside, we actually want it to go inside sharper on the right side, left side as well. I think these are the hip bones. Okay, he looks kinda symmetric. What am I doing here? I need to make it longer. Longer here. Ooh, human proportions are always a bit whack to draw. Or hard to draw, at least. Because you can see all the mistakes much easier because you know what humans look like. Of course, when you start drawing, then you stop knowing what they look like and you draw some freak, but weird how that works. Yeah. Okay, we should probably not worry about it that much. It's gonna be covered up by these cables anyway. At least the sides will be. So for now, I'll leave it as it is. The rib suggestion here. Over his heart and over his other heart. By that I mean lung. Actually, we are mirrored, so is his heart on the left side or right side? Human hearts are on the left, so on the image his heart is on the right side. Yeah. Looking good. Now we get onto this device. I will actually use a 5 brush here. No, that does not look good. I will have to use color to separate it better. I thought, you know, since you're changing what you're drawing, we could draw that with a differently sized brush, but it didn't actually end up looking any better. This one is going to have like a few different modules. Okay, it's that asymmetrical right now. Ah, damn the symmetry. I'll just have it go like this according to the sketch. Doesn't matter much that it's that wonky. Then these connectors are big, so I'm gonna draw them with an actual 3D effect. Or like with an actual, I'm gonna actually define them with a width. Like this. Would I like that? For now, let's just draw a circle, and the same thing on this side. Then I will bring this curve a little bit down, so it can fill the whole volume. And this whole module is sitting in an even bigger, like, pod. So I'll just suggest its existence like this. Yeah, that's all good enough, good enough. Yeah, I think I will actually add the hair on the color layer itself as in the form of strands. Let me check how it looks. Ooh, that's ugly. That's ugly. He's ugly. Oi, oi, oi. Guess we'll just have to keep working on it. Maybe the nose does kind of look better in the sketch. Maybe I'll change the nose. Mine is really wide right now. And this pixel looks a little bit like a pupil, and I do not like that. I do not like that at all. Yes, let's put the stitches just on the outside. So now we want to add the tubes. Okay, one good idea I just got. Since we got the tube, we are drawing on the second layer anyway, we can draw the front tubes on the first layer and not worry about like having to it will be automatically basically overwriting what's behind it. So let's actually draw the top tubes later on the first layer, and let's add some background details, the background tubes specifically. Now I will first choose complete black. That's a really bad idea, since then I won't see the line art. Let's just keep it on white. And then what color should the tubes be? Okay, I'm actually convinced I should first color in the body, and then actually go do the details, the other details. Which means I should fix the nose right now. Let me just erase this. I mean, it's a good nose, just not the nose I want for this specific angel. It looks too normal, actually. That was the problem. Oh, right, eraser? This is the underside of the nose, which is why it looks a little bit weird. Yeah. Looks great. Looks great. Looks great. Real great. Oh, real great. Real great. Um, Skin color, something really white pale. That's a given. Let's start with the middle, something dark. Alright, because the bottom part is not connected. Ugh. It's the most annoying thing with these things. You have to really connect everything. Oh my god, please. A work this detailed is hard even on a tablet. I should not care about details this small. This should be completely black. As should this side. Now the tubes, I think they should be invincible. Invincible! But I mean, their contents should be invincible. Invisible. Question is, I want to texture them in some way? Like this or like this? I think not. I think not. So I will just leave it like that. And again, I do want the lighting to be focused on him as like the main figure. I want the light to be coming from above, focused right on him. So I will make the metal, the backgrounds, the tubes dark, and he will be pale white. And that will produce a nice contrast, hopefully. Just so it's not too boring, perhaps I should add slightly reddish tint to these metals. Ooh. Let's not do that again. And maybe slightly bluish to the tubes, just so the normal metal is differentiated from the tube, so we can what? So we can what? So you can differentiate them, despite being only separated by really dark line art. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that will... I'll have to touch it up probably later, but for now, let's just color it in with the same color, and then we can change it later with the fill tool. Okay, that's really strange, right? Let me just test something. It misses 1 pixel here and here. And now if I choose a different color, now it always manages to color in every pixel. That's so weird, right? It only misses a few pixels when it's the default white color, but like it should be white everywhere, so why is it missing these stray pixels? The only explanation would be that because it always happens on the border of the brush and the white, that the brush is not actually pixel perfect, and he has some rounding errors or something, which is so weird, because how would something like that even happen? It's kind of impossible to code it that way. It's really weird. Anyway, let's just continue with the coloring then. You can see my mistake, because I forgot to put the rims on these back ones. I can just light it up brighter since I cannot see anything. I mean, they're kinda from the back. They kinda are on like the back side, so maybe it doesn't matter that much, but it should be there. It should be there. Oh no, those aren't tubes. That's the other pod. I get it. So I'll color it with a different color just so I know what it is. That it's different. And then I just have to color in these rims, and I'm noticing that this one is a little bit too big. I should make it thinner. Yeah, something like this. And I think I'll use slightly more aggressive pipe color around them. Brighter, actually. The pipes should be darker than the connections. These are just like suggesting colors. They won't be the final ones. So I will probably be changing them. Now the body color. Let me disable everything. Maybe not completely everything. I'll change the shade to something different so I can actually color things properly. Like the eye has to be white, so this way I can actually... Oh, right. I had the wrong layer selected. White, the other parts will be... Surely they will be mostly black, right? Either black or red. Maybe if I put them to deep red, like this. Oh. Yeah, that looks aight. That looks aight. Maybe even bright red, but now I have a choice. I can change it later. Oh, oh, nice. His teeth slightly off-white, yellow, of course. Oops. With things like teeth and thin things like this, having the line art on a different layer would be so useful. Because you could just color it things in so easily. But when there are these 1 pixel holes, makes it so difficult to color anything in. Because you don't want to draw over your line art. Yeah. Anyway, that's done. Maybe we want to fill the middle parts with black. Just with black. I'll leave it like this for now, then the final black will be... the background will fill it in, so I don't have to worry about it that much. The metal band will have this color as well here. I missed 1 pixel. Great. And yeah, he should be looking kind of pale. Like really pale. Guess you could say he's the pale king. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I think this color is actually alright. Of course, I will add shading later, so it will not be this harsh in the... The hell is this line? When did that appear? Oh, now I have to get rid of it manually. God damn it. tad irritating. Oh my god, I lost my color! And it was so alright. Ugh. Right, I have to edge guard it once again. Great, great, great. Great. Now we have to do the background. Yeah, now that he's finally colored in, we can add the background tubes. Ooh, his hair. Let's just try throwing in random strands. Oops, I've once again had the wrong layer selected. Okay, this is a bit too big. Maybe width 2. I think it's too bright. Just gonna sketch it out slightly. Ugh. Maybe if I fill it up. Not exactly that good. I think I should just, instead of drawing individual strands, use a more systematic approach where I actually draw in whole blocks. And I'm just thinking maybe this should be on a on the first letter as well, but too late. Whew. Okay, this does not look bad. This does not look bad. It does look disheveled, and when I add slight shading and variance into the hair, it will look way better. I hope. Whew, this is a difficult one. I'm so tired. Ugh. I want him to have a little bit of a bald spot here. Like, just balding everywhere. maybe I will clean this up a little bit more, but I think this looks sufficiently disheveled. Yeah, I do think I should change the color of these things to deep red. Yeah, I mean, that does look better. And now, finally, we can get to the tubing. That's what we've all been waiting for. That's what it's all about. And these can be a little bit more abstract since it's on the background layer, so we won't be putting any line art in there. Why not, you ask? Line art is detail, and detail distracts from the central piece. So if you want the central piece to pop, you want it to have more detail, so that's why we are not adding detail to the background by not adding a line art to the background. And it makes you like a little bit freer in a sense that you're more free to choose what goes where. Yeah, I want it to really be like a spindly spider coming in from every which direction. Of course, some of these will be covered up by the frontal pipes, but that's why we are not putting a lot of effort into these ones. I mean, I guess this is mainly just a sketch. Just a sketch out phase, basically. Okay, these are too close. That looks weird. We want nice even spacing. Yeah, I think that's a good density. If I drop the blackness. Oh, now this gives me an idea. Maybe instead of only being lit from the front and everything in the background falling into shade, what if there was a little bit of a red backlight, giving everything a slight red glow, but like from the back, which means the edges will have a red tint. That could be an interesting effect. I'm going to have to ruminate on this. Because I did notice things seems to look better when there's like backlighting. Maybe not this harsh, maybe something darker but still red tinted. For now I'll leave the background in black white. For now I'll leave it black and I'll work with that. Now I'm going to have to erase the frontal. Okay, let me make it white so I can actually see. Now I'm going to have to remember kind of where I am placing the frontal tubes. There's just 6 of them, 3 here, here, here. And they all go up. Yeah, should not be that hard to remember. Bye bye sketch. Poof! Thank God for undo, right? Excellent. So I think I want one here, one here, and one right here in his side. I probably want them to be the same size, so I'm just gonna try drawing them like that. And the question is, do I want connectors or just them to be coming straight from the body? Body. 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 I think I want to add ports. So, yeah. Something like this. That's a wrong angle though. Wrong angle. Angel angle. Must be more spherical. First let's draw the pipes actually, because it's much easier to draw the ports around them. After you have the pipe. Oh my god, it's better if I erase this instead of trying again, because it's almost a perfect circle. Whew. Hard work drawing. And then I want to add a little bit of detailing on this port. Maybe that is a bit too big. I will just have to make the details smaller. Concentric circles, they are hard to draw. Yeah. Now we can add these bolts, which add detail, they add texture. They make it look better. Yeah. It does look a tad flat, but that will be solved by adding shadow here in the shading phase. So I'm not that worried. I'm a little worried, but not that worried. Another pipe to this place. Yeah, one thing I can see being a bit bad. We want the pipes to be actually getting bigger because of perspective, like they're coming towards us slightly. I guess that works. Yeah, I guess it's fine. This bottommost pipe will be going slightly downwards even. I will destroy the detail of the edge. Ooh, and I will create a tangent here, so... Oof, I think that is alright. bit wonky at the end here. So I have to change this as well. All right, that's one half done. Going to clean it up a little bit. Great. Now we're gonna have to repeat the same thing on the other side. I kinda don't necessarily want to cover up this scar. If I did it. This. This. I'm thinking maybe he would look better if he was asymmetrical. Like if he had only two on the left side. Like here, for example. And then one here. Asymmetry is often ugly, in a good way in this case. But I think we want symmetry. Because we're like twisting, you know, the goodness of God, and we are using symmetry to do it. It's kind of anti-poetry that way. Okay, let me just find where the top of the pipe is. Here. And then we want a nice curve upwards. Same here, but shallower, so we get that perspective. Then we want a circle, almost a perfect circle, only slightly oval. Oh, come on, bro. I did not press. Undo. I did not press undo that time. Ah, it was almost perfect. Yeah, this is a lot of art, just trying to draw a perfect circle. It's a bit annoying, but sometimes that's what you gotta do. Then we want something here. Boop. Zip. Boop. This one is not that good. Come on. Almost got it. Oh my god, please. No, it got deleted, but I am drawing it, I'm doing it. Yes. Nice. And now finally the bottom one. Do 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 do. Boop. Do 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 do. Boop. We want it to drop down a little bit. Yeah. I do think this one could be a little bit wider. It's currently a bit short, I think. Thin, I mean. Yeah, and the top one should be curving more. Rather, the top part of the middle one should be curving more. Because there was a bend, but the bend was too geometric. I guess it looks alright. Can't be too perfectionist about this stuff. I say, as I'm extremely perfectionist. Boop, boop. Ooh, that was almost perfect, but luckily I have an eraser, so I can just fix this small mistake. And then pop. Rivet, 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 rivet. Good work, good work. Now I have to color it in. Right, right, right. The edge, the edge. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't know why it ignores the edge for the fill tool calculation. Frankly confuses me. It's like there's a canvas beyond the canvas which I'm writing for, which is ignored. That is actually exactly the case, probably. Or maybe it loops. Like the coordinate system loops, so when it goes from the left side, comes from the left side, it thinks it's on the right side again. Probably want to make these darker? Yeah, you want these joints to be darker always. You're with me? Always. I think that's from a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. That quote. Alright! It's still looking garbage, but it's coming there. It's coming there. It's going there. It's arriving to the spot of looking good. Good lookedness. Let's try black background, red background. I misclicked. I think I do want a red back glow. I think I do want that. I think I like that. The tubes will be black. Illuminated a little bit from the front. And with red from the back. Oh man! The constraining metal will be lighter gray and the tubes will be darker, I think. So let's try recoloring it that way. wrong layer. These stray pixels are also going to have to get sorted out. Ugh. I think I actually want this to be brighter. It's gonna get shaded anyway when the shading phase comes. Oops. Then I want this to be the same shade. This to be dark. I probably want this to be an even different kind of color. Maybe even a slightly bluish. Slightly bluish tint. Right. Nice, nice, nice. Now we would like to first I'll fix these annoying stray pixels on the tubes. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to fix the background a little bit to add more tubes right now. Yeah. First, we will recolor them. Color pick. And we want to saturate them a bit with wrong layer? With blue. So they're kind of like desaturated, but still dark. Yes. And then we want even more saturation in the back. I hate stray pixels. Okay, that first of all, that looks ugly. So I will not be doing that. Second of all, I need more tubes to be coming in from the back. I think these tubes are too thin in comparison, the blue ones. So I'll just take pure black and draw with that, with width 30. So I'm just going to actually erase all of these. It's not possible to erase, I'll just use the eraser to erase. Then we want to be using a level 30, width 30. And maybe we actually already want to be thinking full spindlage. What I mean that the previous amount of pipes or cables was not enough. We wanted a higher density. So that's what I'm adding right now, a higher density. And as I add and add, I realize that it would be more effective to turn the entire background black and actually suggest the existence of pipes by adding these red highlights. Furthermore, I do think that instead of just pipes, of course, we should also add some wires in the back. So once again, I will erase everything on the third layer. I will actually change the background to be black. And now I will add a few red streaks to suggest the existence of pipes. I'm using the eraser tool. Of course, it doesn't necessarily look that great right now because nothing in the front is highlighted by red, so the red just kind of appears relatively random. But when you add, yeah. To simulate overlap, you want to add these branches, which suggest that pipes are crisscrossing each other. I'm actually gonna Ooh, he kind of looks like he's dangling on strings. It's a Deltarune reference, if anybody played to that. Alright. Not looking bad at all. Not looking bad at all. Now I will proceed to... Later I will add cables. For now, let's add some shading to the fronts. Let's finish the coloring. And then we will add red highlights everywhere. And that should make it look... Mwah! Uno niño. El niño. Just gonna finish up coloring this part. Ugh. Really not sure how this should be looking. How this should look. Like, what color should it have? Seriously. Green? That ain't it, chief. I'm thinking blue, because blue is dark. It's dark metal. This one is for sure too bright on here. Yeah, we should probably actually add the rivets to these connections as well. It's a necessary detail. Yeah, that looks better. I'm going to guess that it looks better and leave it at that. Let's do the main body now. So he's backlit, he's front lit from the top. So I want him to have shades under his cheekbones, under here. And alternatively, we could do bottom up lighting, like he's being lit from the bottom, because that looks apparently really freaky. So Yeah, sure, let's do bottom-up lighting. Let's try it. Not that I know what I'm doing. Eh. Okay, if I want it bottom up, that means shade goes here. Probably stops at the eyebrow level. And then is re-added underneath the cheekbone. And I don't think this looks that great. Just sketching it out so I can see what it will look like. I mean, it is scare adjacent. It is scare adjacent for sure. And these things will kind of be covering this in shade. Well, I suppose I'll have to compare it to normal shading. It'll be relatively top-down, but more frontal. So little shading here, little shading under the cheekbones, underneath the nose. Like this. And then of course the bottom parts of these will be getting shade. Whew! This is difficult to choose. I kinda think I have to go for the bottom-up version. I mean, it's more ambitious, surely, right? But this one does not look bad. This one does not look bad. I'm gonna have to have a thought about this one. I think I will do something like what I already have. Just to say bottom, what I have right now, so bottom, top down, just normal top down, I think. Yeah. Oh, maybe I should be choosing. Should be choosing Maybe I should choose darker, a darker skin shade. Yeah. Now these things will be kind of casting shadow, but only behind. Because it's mostly frontal, it means the shade doesn't actually drop down the body. It goes more sideways. All right. And I think I will add a little bit of shade to the sides because it is mostly frontal, so I do think I want to exaggerate that effect by darkening the edges. Ooh, should I even darken the top edges perhaps? I don't think that will be necessary. Although not necessarily ugly as either. Well, I'll definitely add a little bit of shading around these parts, because that does add a 3D effect, which is sorely needed on these things. You look a bit too flat otherwise. Muchos beteros. Okay, I don't think that looks that much better, but what can you do? I'm gonna fix these pixels, these stray pixels, struxels. Do, 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 do. Yes, yes, yes. That's fine. I think that's good. I think that's good. I think I should light up this blood here more, because currently it falls into the background too hard. Maybe some green stuff actually. Whew. Excellent. Now we will shade in this part, because this does also suffer from the same light. Suffer. Yeah, he does suffer. Because we torture him for our sins. Woo! And we'll drop this down even harder. It's not even getting any light at all. Though frankly, I think I will add a little bit of a strip here. showing that it is getting some light over the pipe. Yeah. Looks alright. Now I will proceed to add red highlights to the frontal pipes. Do, 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 do. Now this is a bit ironic, or rather, since we are in the front but the light is coming from the back, I think it should be weaker in the front and brightest in the back, which means I should desaturate the red color a little bit. Maybe not desaturate, but lower its brightness. Whew. Like this. Clearly less bright than what's in the back, but still highlighting. I think maybe 3 is too wide. You really want to just catch the edge. Catch the edge. Catch the edge. I really want to do this over with a single curve. Yeah. Frankly, I'm not sure about the darkness. I will try them being bright in front and actually darkening them in the back then. Okay, I'm actually gonna connect all of these in the back. Just so I can fill them all at once. Yeah, now if I use the fill tool, they should all darken at the same time. Excellent. I don't think I've missed a single spot. There's a little stray pixel, but nobody cares about that. Not even gonna bother changing it. Now this is difficult because the red, bright red, does look more striking. On the other hand, The darker red does look more realistic. You know, in cases like this, you have to choose the striking option, eh? You have to choose the striking option. Great! Great, great, great! Now we have to finish shading in these pipes a little bit. Which we can do by cutting, well, quote, quote cutting, blackening the bottom part. Well, it shouldn't be this big, because it's really, really, really frontal. So it should be more like this. It should not be a big shadow. Really just a suggestion of a shadow. A big edge. Big bottom edge. That's my rep name. Big bottom edge. Do, 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 do. And maybe we could even add the red highlight to the bottom part of these pipes. Wrong color. One thing, I definitely think the front frontal lights should be darker. I'll try changing them after this series of highlights. Oh, and we definitely don't want them to be coming all the way to the body, because the body is actually shading the red highlights from the back. So the red highlights cannot reach everywhere and only start some portion from the body away. Like for example here, we don't want it to be Whoa, did I just close it down? No, I did not. Don't want the shades to be here, we want it to start here, for example. Here we also want it to be a little bit further away. Same thing here. Same thing on the bottom. And the bottom parts as well. And now I will try darkening them slightly. Does this look any good or better? Frankly, I'm not sure. I am not sure. Yeah, I think it did look better with the full highlights. I do think this looked better. Now we want to add highlights to the skin with the same red color. Ooh, this band, actually, I might color it in yellow, resembling a crown. Mm. Is this any good? Let's add some shading, and we'll find out. Yeah, I think that looks fine. I think that does look fine. Yeah, now the red highlights. We want to brown them down. These do want to be muddled because it interacts with the skin, which absorbs some of the light. So we want to color it a little bit, I think. Not like this, though. Some weird brown color. Actually, I think I want only a single pixel on this. And do I just, like, redraw the entire outline? Hmm. Okay, let's go down here first. Actually, let's add some highlighting to these bottom parts. This bottom machine, because we know how that works, just a normal machine highlight, metal highlight. So that's nothing deep there. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to go around him, outlining everything, essentially. Right? I'm not sure about this. No, no, no. I definitely don't think this is the way of doing it. We want selected highlights only along certain edges. Or perhaps do we want thicker highlights. Maybe I should use two? Maybe he should not be highlighted at all. Ooh, spooky. Okay, definitely highlight the metal parts here. And I definitely want to probably add it to the hair, right? Oh yeah. I do think this is striking. I should probably not overdo it. Definitely don't want to overdo it. And I probably I want to add some veins to his eyeball. Yes, 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 yes. This does not look bad. I'm gonna make sure the mouth is actually black. I have zero opacity. I must have clicked something to create zero opacity. Okay, now I want to add just a few details, like dried blood. Perhaps some really dark, just darkened blood around his eye. It's really like crusty already. Yes, yes, yes. Same thing with these wounds, just a little bit blood around them. Maybe even a little bit of leakage of blood. Yes, 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 yes. Could do the same thing with the ports as well. Top. Just a few blood stains around the very edge. Oh yeah. That looks nice and brutal. Beautiful, isn't it? And I think as just a final touch up, actually we want to add some additional wires to the background, so I'll try remember to do that. I actually want to add a few discolorations of the skin. Just as an additional texture thingy to break up the monotony, so you're not getting flashbanged with just complete whiteness. Yes. Nice, nice, nice. And now the wires for the background or LEDs. Okay, if they are wires, they should be darker and fewer of them. I'm just throwing anything here. Okay, it's a bit of a mess. I'm using too many colors. I'll try using simply green and blue because the red ones don't fit, the other ones add too much noise. Yes, that's good, that's good. Once again, I will also actually add slight blemishes to the pipes, you know, the same uh, for the extra texturing as this with the same rationale as I did for the body. So the completely flat textures, I don't know, they just don't look good to me. Just slight texturing, weathering. Not really sure what it's supposed to be, just abstraction. The big ones in the front, of course, as well. Maybe with a smaller brush. And same with the metal. And I think we might be done here. Lastly, I'm going to check some halo effects around him. Whether that would look any good. White color on its own, not that great, plus it makes it look washed out. Perhaps yellow though might look better. Not exactly. That doesn't exactly look better. I could try red. Let's put 20 opacity. Perhaps 15 opacity. And around the body? Like it's surrounding him? No. I'm gonna try a few other things. I mean, this halo does not look that bad. A reddish halo. It serves as a source for all these red lights, right? I think this does definitely enhance it a little bit. I will try positioning it on different parts of the art, but I think behind the head is of course the most striking. For example, here this centered behind the body, which does have its own interesting effect. Ooh, decision. I mean, at the same time, it does interfere least with the wires on the bottom. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I think I'll just do both. A triple layered 10% red halo around his whole body, both head and lower part. Ooh, I guess I can see the issue with the fact that now the pipes in the back don't look like pipes, but they do look like just lines. They didn't exactly look like pipes before anyway. It's pretty annoying. I think it's fine. I think the red halo effect adds more to the art than it subtracts. And I think we are officially done here. Just one last thing. I'm gonna try to add just a little bit of a reddish like highlight on the edge of his arms. I think that could look great. Otherwise it doesn't look like he's in the same space, right? If the light is not hitting him. Yeah, it's not much, it's a little bit, but I think that's it. That's the last touch. If you anybody wants to watch more, just subscribe, you know, because I'll keep making these for a little while. Yeah, that's it. Our Angel Engine inspired card. We'll just call it the Angel Engine, why not? The Angel Generator. Of course, we'll credit the series. Unless it's... Yeah, you cannot credit anywhere. Uh, Infinite energy. Ooh, well, looking good. Yeah, like I said, if you want to watch more, subscribe. See ya!